Hi everyone. So today we'll be discussing on the topic, this one, what do we call activity selection algorithm, right? So this is one of the famous or well-known greedy based algorithm. Yep. So let's get into the definition part. So here, activity selection algorithm is a greedy based algorithm used to select the maximum number of non-overlapping activities. Select the maximum number of non-overlapping activities is the important thing that we need to remember, right? So we'll be considering only non-overlapping activities from the given set, where each activity has a start time and finish time. So we are dealing with the intervals. So each activity will be having start time as well as the finish time. So this is fine. Either we can go with the S and E, or we can just go with L and R as well. Yep. So the strategy is to always pick the activity that finishes earliest. What is the main strategy here? It is always to pick the activity that finishes earliest, right? So that's what we need to do. Now let's move on with the algorithm explanation part. So here, first what we'll do, we'll sort all the activities by their finish time. That's what we'll be doing. So after sorting all activities by their finish time, then what we'll do, we'll select the first activity, nothing but earliest finish. So this one we had discussed on the definition part itself, right? So we have to consider the first activity, nothing but the earliest finish. So first we'll be sorting all the activities by their finish time. That we'll be doing. So we'll be going with the sorting. Yep, this we have to keep in mind. We'll be making use of the sorting. Then we will select the first activity, nothing but the earliest finish, right? So for remaining activities, we'll select an activity only if its start time is greater than or equal to last selected activity's finish time. So this one will be implementing in the form of code. So for remaining the activities that is left, right? So we'll select an activity only if its start time is greater than the last selected activity's finish time, right? So this is what we have to keep in mind. So this is the thing, right? If it's the start time has to be greater than or equal to last selected activity's finish time. Next, we will continue till all the activities are checked, right? So we'll continue the same process till all the activities are checked. So greedy choice works because finishing earlier leaves more room for the future activities. That is the reason greedy works here, right? So let's see the same thing in the form of code. Let's do that. First thing here, so within the main class, first thing, let's go with static, yep, class. So this is fine. I'll just go with the activity. Yep, so this is fine. So within the activity class, first thing, I'll just go with two variables here. One is start and another one is end, right? So I'll just go with the start as well as end. So this is fine. Next, let's move on with the constructor part or initialization part. I'll just go with S as well as E here, right? So within the activity or within the constructor part, let's assign start to S and end to E. I'll just go with end. Let's assign the end to E. It's as simple as that. Let me come out of this one entire lemon. Next, what we'll do, let's move on with the main method. We are done with the activity class actually. Yep. So within the main method, what we are going to do. So first, let's input the activities start and end. So let me copy paste this one. So here, let me paste this one over here. You can consider any example. I have considered this example. We have to have the starting time as well as the ending time. This is nothing but input activities that comes with start time and end time. So I had considered 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 8, 6, this one 5, 7, as well as 8, 9. So this is not 8, 6, 0, 6, sorry. Yep. So next, let's move on with the further steps. First thing, the first step here would be we have to sort the activities by the end time, nothing but we'll be going with a greedy choice accordingly with the algorithm that we have discussed. So let's sort. So I'll just go with arrays here dot sort. Yep, let me pass the array and I'll just go with a comma b. So this is fine. Let me make use of the lambda here. I'll just go with a dot end hyphen b dot end. So this is fine. So we are done with this part. Next, let's move on with the second step, nothing but we have to select the first activity. Always we have to select the first activity. For that, let me go with, sorry, I'll just go with here int count. Let me assign this one to 1. Then I'll just go with last end. This one, last end, I'll assign this one to array of 0 dot end. Yeah, array of 0 dot end. So this is fine. Yep. So let's move on with the next step. So nothing but we have to check the remaining activities, right? So I'll just go with the for loop. So this one will be int I equals 1, I less than array dot length. So this one. So and the final one is let's increment the I. So this is fine. So within the for loop, what we are going to do, if the current activity starts after or at the selected activity's end, meaning I'll just go with the if condition here. If array, sorry, 1 second. If array of I dot start, so this one, if it is greater than or equal to last end, so I'll just go with the last end. Then what we have to do, then we'll select this particular activity and update the last end time. To select the particular activity, I'll just go with count plus plus. So this is fine. And finally, we have to update the last end time. Nothing but last end equals array of I dot end. This one. Yep. So this is fine, I believe. So I'll just come out of this one entirely. Now what we are going to do, all we have to do is we have to output the result. So I'll just go with the s out here, system out println of count. Yep. So this is fine. Let me format the code once. Yep. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine, man. So this is it for the code. Let's check for any typos or errors. Do we have any typos or errors? No, right? So before running the code, let's dry run the code so that we get to know whatever the code that we have written is correct or not. And also we get to know whatever this one, the output for the example that we have considered within the code. Yep. So later we can come back here and run the code that we have written. First, let's dry run the code. Let's do that. So let's move on with the dry run part actually. So this is the activity selection one, nothing but the dry run. Yep. So we have inputted this one. We have considered input activities, this one, the same example that we have considered within the code. You can just check 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 0, 6, 5, 7, as well as 8, 9, right? So the first step within the code, we are sorting the activities based on the finish time, right? So for that, so this becomes actually after sorting by end time. So this becomes 1 comma 3. So this is fine. Then 2 comma 4. Yep. The same thing. It doesn't change actually for this, but we have to sort, right? So we might be having the different test cases, right? So this one, I'll just go with 0, 6. This is already sorted actually for the example that we have considered. So we'll go with 5 comma 7 and 8 comma 9. So this is after sorting by end time, right? So this is fine, I believe. Next, what we'll do, we have to select the selection process. We have to go with the selection process. Let's go with the selection process one. So first we have selected the intervals, this one from 1 to 3. So the last end is nothing but here. I'll just write here last end. Last end is 3. You can clearly see, right? So the last end is 3 here. So we will be skipping 2 comma 4 because they overlap. So this comes between we have to consider only non-overlapping intervals, right? So this 2 comes between 1 and 3. So here this overlaps. So we will be skipping 2 comma 4. So I'll just write here this overlaps, or I'll just write here overlap, right? So then we will be selecting 3 comma 5. So the last end is nothing but 5. Yeah. So the last end is 5. And here end this one. Yeah. So this is fine. Last end is 5. Next 0 comma 6 comes between this one. What do we call? 1 comma 3 as well as this one. What do we call? 3 comma 5 as well. So this overlaps. So I'll just write here overlap, right? So this overlaps. I'll just write overlap. So we'll not consider anything here, right? So this is fine. We are done with this part as well. We are left with 5 comma 7. Next, what we'll do, we will select 5 comma 7. So here last end is nothing but 7. Yeah, last end is nothing but 7. So the final one is here. We will be selecting 8 comma 9. So 8 comma 9, this doesn't overlap. So the last end will be 9. Last end will be 9. This part. Yep. So now we have the final count is nothing but we will be selecting the this one, 4 activities. See this one, the one which has the last end actually 1 comma 3, 3 comma 5, 5 comma 7, as well as 8 comma 9. So these are the 4 activities that we'll be selecting. So I'll just go with 4. Final count is nothing but 4 activities selected. Yeah. 4 activities selected. So this is it for the algorithm. It's as simple as that. Yep, it's as simple as that. So now we are done with the what do we call activity selection algorithm dry run. Yep. So we are done with this part. You can just pause the video and have a look into it. Yep. So just you can just check the this one, check for the selection process, and finally the final count actually. Yep. So this part. Yep. So this is fine. Now we have discussed the algorithm. We have written the code. We have dry run the code. Considering the same example that we have considered within the algo, we are left with only one thing, nothing but this one, running the code that we have written. And if everything goes well and if we get the desired output, then we have to discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. First, let's run the code that we have written. Let's do that. So we are at the coding part. So I'll just run the code that we have written. So let me run the code. We have some error here. So what does it say? Variable n1, variable b of type cannot find symbol. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, that is what it is screaming, right? So here, this one, we have to change this one. So we have this one, what do we call? Typo here. Let me change this one to end and let me rerun this one again. Yeah, here you can, now you can clearly see we are getting the output 4, which is absolutely correct. So we have dry run, we had dry run the code and we got the output 4. 4 activities we selected, right? So the two got overlapped. So we will be ignoring that one. We selected 4 activities. Yep. So we are getting the desired output here. We are left with only one thing, that is the thing, but we have to discuss the complexities for the code that we have written as we have got the desired output. Let's discuss the complexities part. So what will be the time complexity? The time complexity would lead to big of n log n. Yeah, the time complexity would lead to big of n log n, and the space complexity would lead to big of 1. The time complexity would lead to big of n log n, and the space complexity would lead to big of 1. So this is fine. Yep. So why it is big of n log n? Sorting plays the dominant factor, man. It's as simple as that. Sorting plays the dominant factor. So overall time complexity would lead to big of n log n. Right. So we are going with the sorting activities by finish time. So it would lead to big of n log n. So space complexity is big of 1 because we are not making use of any extra space, right? Apart from the variables that we are making use of, right? So overall space complexity would lead to big of 1. The time and the space complexity would lead to big of n log n and big of 1 for the code that we have written. Yep. So we are done with the activity selection algorithm. Yep. So this is one of the well-known greedy algorithms. Next, we will be discussing interval scheduling algorithm. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.